Let's say China.
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 China. China.
There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
Go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump's statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes. Hello, and welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if your name is Ted Cruz and you like porn on Twitter. It's Wednesday, the 13th of September 2017, and today, for the first time ever, So This Happened is going to endorse a candidate for mayor. The candidate in question is a dog called Finn, and he is running to become the mayor of a small Canadian town. CBC, the Canadian news network, interviewed Finn on some of his policies, and I think they make a lot more sense than some of the ones we hear from actual human politicians.
Finn, tell me about your campaign. And do you think you'll get a lot of the dog vote in St. John's?
And so there was Finn, and his owner was asked why Finn had decided to choose now to run. And here's what he said.
So Glenn, how did all this come about for Finn to run for mayor?
Well, it's something he's been thinking about for a long time. I mean, Finn's an actor, and he's just taking a break from his film career to see if he can help the city of St. John's.
And what are the traits that Finn would bring to the mayor's chair here in St. John's?
Well, Finn being an Australian cattle dog, he's a tireless worker. He doesn't know when to stop, so he will work day and night to get things done.
And what's he been up to so far out on the campaign trail?
Well, he's been certainly out and meeting as many people as he can, and just sort of really trying to get his message across. I mean, potholes is a big issue for Finn, as well as snow clearing and stuff in the wintertime. Being an avid walker, these are certainly things that are concerns for him, but also getting out and meeting people and just sort of getting his messages across to as many people as he can.
And how's the response been so far from both the two-legged and four-legged population?
The response has been phenomenal. I mean, we're really overwhelmed. He sort of was a last-minute candidate and sort of put it all together quickly, and the response has just been so rapid that Finn's really overwhelmed with it all and can't thank everybody enough.
Well, Finn certainly gets our vote, and hopefully he'll win it. Anyway, now to the two-legged world. There is a new White House communications director after Scaramucci was given the boot recently. A lady by the name of Hope Hicks is stepping up to the plate. Miss Hicks is a 28-year-old former model, and honestly, no surprise there. The fact that Donald Trump hires somebody who was a former model should come as absolutely no surprise to anybody. Some things about Miss Hicks that you probably should know. She has been with Donald Trump since the beginning. She joined the Trump Organization in 2014, where apparently she caught the attention of Donald Trump himself. And I assure you, it has nothing to do with the fact that she's quite a pretty lady. Nothing. It was her work ethic that caught his attention. He sort of went, "Whoa, look at her. She's got a good work ethic. Look at that thing, that work ethic. Wow, that work ethic. Woo!" And she was apparently the first person that Donald Trump told that he was going to run for president. And she also claims that communications are in her blood because her father ran communications for the National Football League and is now the managing director of the Glover Park Group in Washington. Also, both her grandparents were in PR, so of course, she'll be absolutely perfect for the job, because we all know that traits like that are passed through your parents. A perfect example, my father is a university professor, and I'm sat here talking to you every single day. But who is not to say that if I wanted to be a university professor, I could be? Because it's in my blood. What an asinine thing to say. And before she takes over as communications director, her current job at the White House is called Strategic Communications. And I have absolutely no idea what that means. Now, according to some reports, her role is more about strategically communicating with the president rather than working with the press. And I have to be honest, Hope, you're not doing a very good job at this, are you? I mean, where were you to strategically communicate with him when he's made so many blunders over Twitter and in front of the cameras? Anyway, we'll move on. She also gets paid one of the highest salaries in the White House. She is making $179,000 a year. And that is the highest salary ever to be paid to a White House employee. And of course, she's definitely one of Donald Trump's favourites. Apparently, he has a nickname for her. And that is the Hopester. Pretty crap, isn't it? I believe her nickname for him is Daddy. I made that up. I don't know if that's true or not. She is good friends with Ivanka and Jared, though. So once again, we see a person moving into a key position in the White House who is, for all intents and purposes, part of Donald Trump's family. And this seems to have been a trend that he's been just continuing over and over again. Get rid of everybody that has any experience, perhaps, in any area, and give it to a family member. Oh, what's that, Hope? Your modelling career's not going so well. Come over here, I'll pay you 200 grand to work for me. How does that sound? What do you have to do? I don't know, strategically communicate with me? That sounds good, right? What does that mean? I don't know what it means. It sounds good, though, doesn't it? I strategically communicate with the president. That's a fucking resume builder right there. And if you think I'm being a little facetious by saying he just hires people that know absolutely nothing about the job that they are being hired to do, have a listen to Donald Trump at a rally he was holding talking about Hope Hicks.
Now, Hope Hicks is a tremendously talented person. She started off with us right from day one. She used to be in my real estate company. I said, what do you know about politics? She said, absolutely nothing. I say, congratulations, you're into the world of politics, right? She knew nothing. And she was there the first day, and she was fantastic. And I just say a couple of words, Hope. You know, she's a little shy, but that's okay, because she is really, really talented. Hope, say a couple of words.
Hi. Merry Christmas, everyone. And thank you, Donald Trump.
Well, there you go. There was Donald Trump bragging about the fact that he's hired somebody to do a job that they have absolutely no idea how to do, and then we even got to hear from the lady herself. Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks, Donald Trump. A lady of few words, it seems. And we'll see if she lasts longer than Scaramucci, but at 10 days, it's probably not going to be a hard record to beat, and if it is, you really are crap at your job. And now, on to a little segment I would like to call Hypocrisy Knows No Bounds. On September the 11th of this year, the Department of Labour released a report which said that the Trump International Beach Resort in Florida has requested permission to hire 10 temporary foreign workers as housekeepers. They would be sponsored through the federal H-2 visa guest worker program, and the job at the POTUS's resort pays $10.64 an hour for a 10-month contract. And so while Donald Trump is there at his rallies saying that he's going to bring jobs back to America and make sure that people are not coming over and stealing their jobs, he's going behind their back and doing exactly that, hiring foreign workers so he can pay them a really, let's be honest, small wage that they're not going to complain about. And this isn't the first time that Donald Trump has done a thing like this. During, and this is spectacular, the irony of this kills me, during Made in America Week, Donald Trump sought permission to hire 70 temporary foreign workers to staff Mar-a-Lago, all as housekeepers. Now, the president has said in the past that it is almost impossible to hire people in Palm Beach during the summer. Well, I suspect if you were very serious about giving jobs only to Americans, there would be some Americans who would be very happy to travel down to West Palm to spend the summer at Mar-a-Lago. I guarantee it. So people who voted and support Donald Trump and want to bring everything back to America, take heed. The man may talk the talk, but he certainly does not walk the walk. And I suppose we could have called this the cliche segment, but I think the Hypocrisy Knows No Bounds segment had a much nicer ring to it. And now I would like to end by paying tribute to a wonderful woman who passed away yesterday at age 88. Edie Windsor, the lady who took the United States government to court and won. She is responsible for overturning the Section 3 of the DOMA Act, which is the Defense of Marriage Act, which said that the term spouse could only be applied to a marriage between men and women. She will be remembered as a pioneer in the gay rights movement, and I just want to hear a little bit from her. This was right after she won the case.
I am today an out lesbian, who just sued the United States of America, which is kind of overwhelming for me. When my beautiful, sparkling Thea died 4 years ago, I was overcome with grief. In the midst of my grief, I realized that the federal government was treating us as strangers, and I paid a humongous estate tax. And it meant selling a lot of stuff to do it, and it wasn't easy. I live on a fixed income, and it wasn't easy. When our marriage appeared in the New York Times, the attachment, we heard from literally hundreds of people. I mean, little playmates and schoolmates and colleagues and friends and relatives, all congratulating us and sending love because we were married. So it's a magic word. For anybody who doesn't understand why we want it and why we need it, it is magic. Today is like a spectacular event for me. It's a lifetime kind of event. And I know that the spirit of my late spouse, the Aspire, is right here watching and listening and would be very proud and happy of where we've come to. I thought the justices were gentle, if that's the word I want. They were direct, they asked all the right questions, but I felt that, no, I didn't feel any hostility, or any sense of inferiority, what do these people want? I felt we were all very respected, and I think it's going to be good.
Yes, well, rest in peace, Eddie. You deserve it if anybody does. Anyway, that is the end of the show for today. Thanks very much for joining me. It was fun as always. We can continue this conversation on Twitter at SoThisHappen. And if you would like to subscribe to the podcast, that would be wonderful. If you'd like to leave a little review, that would be even more wonderful. I love reading them. Actually, I don't like reading the ones where you're mean to me. I'm very sensitive. I'm not sensitive, fuck it. If you don't like me, tell me. I quite enjoy reading those ones too. Anyway, listen, it's been wonderful. We'll do this again tomorrow. Take care and have a great evening. Bye-bye.